And welcome back to Stories from the River. This is your host, Charlie Malouf, and we are smack dab in the middle of our Ashley's Right to Win Bootcamp series. So you would have heard in the first two episodes my interview with Renee Bradley and then Teresa Thompson last week. And so this week we're going to hear from some of our memory makers who've gone through the bootcamp training. So today you'll hear from Chris Berrier. He's been with the river for many, many years, and you'll hear from Chris. He's the area manager of the Supernova, which is an area within the North region. So buckle up, sit back, and listen to Chris as he shares his wisdom and thoughts with us from this Ashley Right to Win Bootcamp series. And thanks so much for joining us. We try to bring you fresh new content every Tuesday and Thursday here at Stories from the River.
Welcome to Stories from the River, a show in which we go behind the scenes at Broad River Retail.
Who are you? What's your name?
My name is Chris Berrier. I'm area manager of the Supernova in the North.
Chris, how long have you been a memory maker?
I have been a memory maker since October 2013.
So what are some of the accolades that the Supernova have received?
So we've won 5 out of 8 multi-unit store awards, and then the Albemarle Aces have won 3 Store of the Month across the North America stores, which is really cool. Also, Salisbury winning Store of the Year. So that was very impressive. And then I believe that store was in the top 6 for the inspections that they do for the stores.
Where are we right now and what's happening here today?
We're in Pineville and we're doing a AFI Training Bootcamp.
How many memory makers have attended this bootcamp?
Roughly about 330.
Which stores or markets are represented at the bootcamp?
All 3 states. We have 8 stores that are running these training bootcamps.
Which locations are the host sites?
We got Raleigh, of course Pineville, Salisbury, Greenville. We're out on the coast at Ogden.
Augusta, Northeast Columbia. Who is conducting the bootcamp training?
Teresa and Maria that are running this one here at this store. And they're being mentored by Ray Templeton.
And Ray he was the professor, Ray Bands?
Absolutely. Oh, Ray Band's the professor, absolutely.
And how long was the training session and what are the main topics or focus areas during the training?
So roughly about 5.5 to 6 hours, depending how it runs. And then we're covering all 5 key categories, which is going to be our case goods, living room, stationery, bedrooms, dining, just the key ones. And then we'll come back and deal with, I'm sure, the bedding and our outdoor in a later session.
So this sounds like a massive investment to make. Why are we doing this at this scale? And even including our REMs who aren't in sales?
Well, I talk about all the time, it's iron sharpens iron. And for us to, Broad River and Ashley together, they pour into us. And it's a way of sharpening your skills and growing the way we take care of our guests.
And how much of the training, Chris, is focused on product knowledge versus sales technique?
Most of it is, I feel like it's product knowledge, but we do have some sales technique that we connect it. And that's where we're coming in as leaders, or I feel like the GMs and the multi-units. That's what we've been speaking up to and connecting it back to C4. And I feel like connection is such a huge thing in gaining trust and confidence with that guest. So it allows us to do our job better. So
we've heard about some of the results. What kind of results are we hoping for after this boot camp?
Well, we got an amazing event this weekend that we're going to help out St. Jude's, and we're excited about what it's going to do. But I'm already seeing average tickets and SPG go up in several of the stores across the company.
Besides SPG, how else will we measure success? I mean, are there key stats or performance targets that you're planning to track after the training?
Yes, absolutely. I'm going to track average ticket, but I'm also going to track how it impacts our sleep. That was a big way that I sold when I was on the sales floor back when I had dark hair. But I always found a way, and it's what I've coached to these guys that have come through several of the boot camps. This is a way of gaining confidence with the guests And it allows you to be able to bring up sleep because the trust is there.
That's so interesting, because we didn't even train on the sleep category, but you're saying elevating the confidence leads into being able to transition to the sleep category?
It's huge. It's the way I've always sold. How many times can I ask that sleep question? And when you've gained that trust and confidence by taking the time to show all the different specs to the product and the way it's built, you gain that trust. That guest feels like you care.
So how does this training support long-term growth for the company?
Well, again, it goes back to the iron sharpening iron. So retention is the way I see it as well. If we're able to pour into our memory makers to give them the confidence to sell the product, it's going to do nothing but help them make better paychecks, and that's the name of the game for our sales staff.
And how many times a year do you think we should do that? Or like, should we do this training again?
At least once a year, because I know we're already doing sleep training twice a year, but hey, if we can squeeze in doing it twice a year on that as well, I'd feel like it'd give us a huge lift.
And why is this kind of hands-on training so important right now? Like, why not just do video training?
People learn, most people learn by doing, and being able to show them, because I'm hearing it already, hearing about the way the cushions are made and the different technologies there, and seeing how the drawers are done and all the layers of staining and paint. They're taking in a ton of information, and to hear them, because that was one of the questions I had during the Daily Connection today, and they were able to give me a lot of feedback with not even looking on the paper.
Fantastic. How will you support your team in applying what they learn here?
I'm going to utilize the GMs and sales managers to make sure that we go back and do a deep dive with this and coach this out, and actually have them. There was a thing that Rick Rush used to do with us, and we called it ticket time. So Richard Peterson would do some training on the weekends, and I feel like this would be a great way to do a refresher and have those sales managers kind of set this up where we can have our HFCs, memory makers, run this training.
How do you help people stay motivated after events like these?
It just goes back to engaging and like you said, with the refreshing opportunities. Us being excited about this, especially in the daily connections every day, is going to be huge. I'm running a dual role, so I get to kind of engage that way. I'm excited about the feedback that I'm going to get tomorrow, because I feel like this is going to, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge for us.
What's your message to someone who's new to sales and attending this boot camp?
Be a sponge. I always preach this one message. Be a thief of knowledge, and this is a great way to do that.
What has impressed you most about the group today or the previous day?
High engagement. You can tell the excitement. I mean, we got some wonderful trainers that are high energy already, but you can see their eyes light up when they're gathering this information, and they're asking a lot of questions.
To someone who's thinking about joining the River as an HFC, what advice would you offer to that person? Again,
it goes back to being a thief of knowledge. This business gives you what you put in it, and being able to take this training, because we give our memory makers a lot of training. We want to set them up for success, and definitely come in with an open mind and be ready to learn.
If we run this again, is there anything that you would change?
Definitely bringing sleep into to the training, which I'm sure we're going to do that. That'll be a huge part to building their confidence, and because confidence is everything. You speak a different way with the guest. Your mannerisms are different, and that's super important.
If we made bootcamp t-shirts, what would the slogan on the back say?
Be ready.
Thanks for listening to Stories from the River. To check out more episodes, visit storiesfromtheriver.com. To watch this episode, go to youtube.com/@storiesfromtheriver. Join us again next week, and remember to like, rate, and subscribe to the podcast.